This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
It's always great to have the great man Sean Darcy in the building. Came in with a moon boot, which we saw him wearing after the game on the weekend.
But Sean, who needs football? We just heard him sing. He was singing Miracle then. He was singing the...
he blew Ellie Goulding.
The Ellie Goulding parts.
Hit those high notes.
It was really nice.
Yeah, that's quite the falsetto.
For someone with such a deep voice, you can get up there.
Yeah.
It was like,
who
he was just sitting there leaning back, just minding it. He was,
Oh, no,
Do you want to...
No chance. No chance.
This is Sean. Miracle.
Yeah, he had his hands under the desk. We know what he was doing.
I was vibing.
That's how I was going.
I forgot I was here.
Talents we
Lucky
didn't
they
know you
didn't
had.
record it or anything. That would have been...
You're right, because there's no microphones around.
So, Sean, we saw Justin at his press conference last night, or it was yesterday when he was talking, but on the news last night saying he's probably going to miss a couple of weeks. How did you actually do your ankle?
Yeah, so I was went to jump and my ankle sort of shot out on the 45, 90 degree ankle degrees, and I went to jump and it just gave way in the inside. So
The inside?
Yeah, it's really rare to injure your inside because the inside's much stronger than the outside.
Yeah.
So most people roll their ankle on the outside.
Exactly.
Yes, true.
But yeah, so you've done what's known as an eversion injury, and that's unusual. And they bruise a lot. Is it bruised?
yeah, it's pretty bruised.
Yeah.
Every time the physios are rubbing it and
Yeah.
things like that, and there's a nice
Yeah.
purple bruise in there.
Yeah,
And they do this foam padding, which sends all the bruising down to your toes.
Yes,
to
yeah.
get it
Oh,
out.
you can
So-
send bruising
Yes, you can.
places.
Yeah.
So
It's mobile.
My toes are all bruised and that, which it looks pretty weird, but
Yeah.
enjoys
So
it.
your toes swell as well because,
Yeah, so
And so you're in a moon boot.
So you can move
Is
the
it-
swelling, Nath.
Is it... Do you have to sleep in your moon boot? Because
Yeah.
when I wore one once, I had to sleep in it, and it was
Yeah.
just horrific because you can't sleep properly.
No,
All I can
you
say,
gotta
Sean,
lie.
Hey, he's talking.
all I can say, Sean, is an airline, one of those people that guide the planes in guiding your bruising to a certain area.
So you're having to sleep in it, Das.
yeah, I'm sleeping in it.
In the moon boot.
Yeah.
And are you loving that? Is it
Oh,
comfortable?
So uncomfortable.
Are you a side sleeper? Or,
I am a side sleeper.
yeah,
so
which side? Or do you rotate?
I think I
like a
rotate.
chicken?
Yeah, rotate.
Yeah.
But,
People that lie on their front, their face down.
Yeah.
sleepers.
I'd hurt
I
the
don't
neck,
get how
surely.
would you
It's
do
not
that?
good for your
yeah,
neck.
surely
Yeah.
that'd hurt your neck.
What
Yeah,
do
it
you
does.
think, Sean?
I try to
And what,
face
not
down and then
sort of
just
hug the pillow?
Yeah, because Megan's going nowhere near me. So yeah, just the pillow.
Just for some affection.
Anyone do? Okay. What do
No.
you do? You guys are alone. What's happening?
Yeah,
We're all alone.
we just sleep soundly.
I'll be honest, my pillow's going to call the police. They're saying I didn't sign up for this. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah,
So no Sydney Swans this week. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
You got to bounce back, mate.
We do.
The
We
game
do.
on the weekend. I don't know. We keep talking about one quarter, but that's what
But that's the game.
teams that lose say a lot.
it's the point. We've got to play 4 quarters. We've got to be consistent. So we can't have a 30-minute phase that
Yeah,
a
just a
team
lapse.
kicks 10
Yeah.
goals. That's the game right
Yeah.
there. So was really disappointed, and looking at the 3 quarters, it doesn't really matter. Like at the end of the day, we lost the game in 1 quarter, the second quarter. So we've got to be better. The leaders have got to stand up. We've got to be more consistent, and it's really frustrating.
And you've got to have 2 good ankles.
We never warned him about the Nova curse before he signed
I found
on.
it out
It's
about
really
that.
kicked
I
in,
didn't
hasn't
know.
it?
I wouldn't
Well,
have
that's right.
signed.
We wouldn't have.
sorry.
We don't tell you at the start. So you
No.
wouldn't stick around.
Do you want to know something even more scary?
Yeah.
So there's a Nova curse which affects our AFL footballers that join the team, and then also there's the other thing that happens, and when we go on a break, celebrities just start dying left, right, and centre. And you're both AFL football and a celebrity, so. You've
Be
really risked your
careful when
life
we
joining
next
this
go on
team.
holidays.
I want to know when I saw you get injured, right? I went because I know how tough you are, and I went oh my god, that looks like it hurts. Because you don't really show that pain on your face ever. So was it really, really sore? Like, did that hurt a lot?
Yeah,
that injury.
So immediate pain.
Yeah, I done it, and because you don't know, I thought I just stepped on someone's
Yep.
foot, which is an outside rotation, which is they sort of warm up, like
Yep.
they hurt
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yes.
but you can get moving. And then I reckon I took a mark. I got kicked the ball, and I took a mark. I tried to step, and I couldn't step. Like it just wasn't working. It just sort of because I didn't have a ligament.
It's like, yeah, there's nothing. There wasn't anything
a ligament.
holding your ankle together.
So I've done a hand pass off, and I was like, no, surely I can get moving. Like it's just a standard old ankle sprain.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
of course.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to run. I tried to run down the ground, and Moose is yelling, "Go good!" Like rubbing my head, and I was like, "No, I'm right."
I'm
And I
right.
was like, no, it wasn't right.
I'm not right.
So I made my way to a bench. I was like, fuck, if I'll just sit down for a couple of minutes, and then I'm good to go. And the docs looked at me and he's like, oh, they were just worried there might have been a fracture on the outside of my ankle.
Yeah, because that's the real potential with that sort of injury, is that you break a bone instead of the ligament.
Because my question is, and this goes to you, Sean, as well, when you've injured yourself and you've got to get from where you've injured yourself off the oval, is that the most painful, longest walk,
so
trying to act like you're not that hurt? Is that horrendous?
It's horrendous. It's shocking. And it gets longer and longer. You're making distance, but because you're in so much pain, it seems like it's another 10.
So it's one of those movies where the hallway keeps on just getting further and further
And
away.
you're just like, why can't I get there?
Why can't I get
It's like, I mean, it must be a weird feeling for an elite athlete for their body to fail them like that.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's not
funny.
a great feeling at all. So
I think the other side of that is, whilst you're never trying to show pain, right, and you're trying to get off in those circumstances, there are other circumstances that something really hurts and you think you're dying or you've broken something,
And
you get
you're
to the
actually
bench
fine.
and
Yeah,
you're
warm up,
fine,
yeah.
and then you're really embarrassed.
Oh, really?
like a corky or
So
something.
by the time you get to the bench, it feels okay?
Yeah.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Well, it happens a lot.
So they check you over and
you
go,
go for a mark and
"There's
you're like,
nothing wrong
oh,
with you."
geez, I've done your hip or something. It's just a corky and it warms up. You're like, oh,
One time I had to come off a game against Sydney Swans. I copped a really... I landed, my knee went... Anyway, it swelled up, and I had 2 knee reconstructions previously. The
So
docs
you
checked
knew.
my knee. They were like, "Oh God, we're not. This is not great." So I was on crutches. Got off the plane that night. I was crying. Knees done again for the third time. Anyway, had to go to Murdoch Hospital. Went in there and had an MRI. And I'm on crutches and all this kind of stuff. Went in there, had an MRI. Walked out and I said, "Could you tell? Have I done my
how bad is it?
my knee?" And the guy said, "No." And I was like,
So
"You
what they-
sure?"
what did
"Yeah,
they
no,
do?"
I can see it here." And I said, "So what's the problem?" "Oh, I don't know. You must have knocked it really hard, so it's all swollen up."
Did they
Anyway,
put
the
a
crutches
Peppa
were gone. I'm
Pig
just walking out there.
Peppa Pig Band-Aid on you and send you on your way?
It was that embarrassing. And I think the cameras were there, right? So getting me in on crutches, dying. And then I walk out.
Like it's a
Trotting
miracle.
out.
What a loser. Hey, one of the other people who have been a great part of our team is Griffin Logue.
Yeah.
Of course, he nicked off and you came in and have taken his place here, but you guys are tied as well.
Yep.
He's did his knee not long ago,
Yeah,
last
did his
week.
knee. I think
2 weeks.
Couple of weeks
2
ago,
weeks
yeah.
ago, and then he went into surgery Tuesday.
So he did an ACL. which
ACL,
is,
meniscus, and a couple of other things.
Oh,
like
the-
that.
So the
Triad.
Nova curse follows you.
Yeah. You can never shake it for life.
That's alarming.
That is
Well,
alarming.
Well, that's
To be
good to
fair.
know.
Appreciate it.
Luke Shuey does still seem to be suffering from it, and he was with us years ago.
Anyway, have a great time with us. Alicia, part of a premiership team here right
Yeah.
now. Hey,
Hey,
hey. All right. Are we going to miracle, please? We'll just
Yes.
get Sean to sing us out.
Yeah. Go on, let's do it. Let's do
Sean,
it.
Sean.
He's never going to sing again. It's ruined for life.
The FIFA Women's World Cup 2023, Australia versus Republic of Ireland. Tonight, everyone,
Yes.
6 p.m, free and in HD on 7 Mate and 7 Plus. And Bruce McAvaney, the legend himself,
He's playing.
he got a Guernsey
This is
alongside Sam Kerr as a striker. Morning, Bruce.
Bruce.
Good morning. You guys must be so excited with Sam and being the local champ, eh?
I
Yeah,
know.
and
very
mate.
excited.
She's related to Shaun, in fact, second cousin.
Yeah, we are, Bruce. Would you believe?
I didn't. Okay, so that's just another string to her bow. So, what a sporting family, Shaun. I mean, God blimey. I mean, I didn't realise that Johnny Miller, who
Yes,
won the Melbourne
Melbourne
Cup
Cup.
in 1966, is Sam's mother's uncle. So, God, Shaun, you've gone up in my estimation.
Yeah.
I've always had you high, mate, but
Yeah.
boy, okay.
It does sound good on paper, doesn't it? All my family, we were just train drivers.
And some
It's
comments.
funny, when I spoke to Sam the other day about her family, Shaun, she didn't mention you, but that's
No,
okay.
that happens a lot, actually. I'm not sure why I'm frozen out of that side of the mob.
It's
but
a big
anyway.
plan.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce, it must be amazing to see women's sport pulled up to such a level, you
Yeah.
know, and the fact is it's not a side dish anymore, it's
Yes.
the main meal.
Yeah.
And we saw the recent video that was released by the Matildas about the struggle that they had to get the same conditions, playing conditions as the men, which was unbelievable. I didn't really know the history to that. But also they're addressing the pay factor where they're only on FIFA are only paying them a quarter of what the men are getting. What do you think about the scenario? Because I just think, for me personally, I think equal pay should be for everyone. I do understand that it's the amount of people that watch and all that sort of stuff. But at least they should be getting paid half, at least. What do you think?
Look, agree. But they are, the good thing is that it's moving in the right direction. So at the last World Cup, which was in France in 2019, the prize money was about 40 million Australian dollars, and now it's 162.
Wow.
So it's gone from 40 million 4 years ago to 162. Now the men in Qatar last November, December got $440 million. So what it effectively means, it is, and so it's about a third, but I look at it a bit the other way. I'm looking back to what happened 4 years ago and thinking that in 4 years from now, they will be at that at least half level and probably closer. And we all believe in equality and equal pay. A bit of it is the dynamics of the economics, and that's understandable. But I think, and you touched on something then, Nathan, one of the things that's a bit precious about and special about this team is that those women that came before them, so our first international team was really in about 1979, and those women that played in that team and all those that have played since, most of them are still alive and still really active in the sport, and this team know them really well, and they engage with them and talk to them. And those women were playing in front of, 200 or 300 or 400 people, getting paid nothing, holding down a job, having children.
Oh. Yes.
So, the Sam Kerrs of this world realise that things are
standing
changing
on their shoulders,
for the better.
aren't they? Yeah.
I think that's a great thing.
And the amazing thing they kept on saying, a lot of the girls were saying, is they want to pass the shirt off to in a better state than what they got it.
That's right. They are.
Which is really great. Men's teams, they don't have to worry about the future of the sport because it's been taken care of them, whereas these women are the stewards, really, of
and bearing that responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruce, on another note, I enjoyed the other day the fact that the Matildas, part of their warm-up was to get the legend, Cathy Freeman, to come and talk to them. And, of course, they watched her race before they announced that she was there. And you are the voice of that race, Bruce.
How lucky I am.
I know.
As Dennis would say, I couldn't have done it without her. Look, no, it was one of those incredible moments for the team because they didn't realise Cathy was coming on that night, and good on management for the way they set it up. So they're watching this race, and all of them, and a lot of them have spoken about the fact that as kids they were inspired by Cathy, and who wasn't. And then suddenly they turn around and there she is. So, and they've talked a lot about it since, and Sam's been really articulate about it. And there's no doubt there's some comparisons between this team collectively and what Cathy and our team went through in 2000. And Sam particularly, I think, has been, compared a bit with Cathy because it's a team game, but she is certainly the highest profile athlete on the team. And look, if she were to do the miracle and score a goal in a World Cup final and we were to win, then that reverence we have for Freeman, I think we'd have for Kerr, don't you?
Yeah,
there's no question about that.
It's the burden of expectation that she carries with her everywhere.
She says that it sits really well with her, and you're right, though. The expectation on her, but not only the team, though, Bruce, going into this tournament is high.
Because of the home ground
There's
advantage.
some really strong teams, and I think that a lot of people in the Australian public probably don't know how good some of these other teams are. So it's going to be difficult, although the crowd will play a factor.
Exactly, and this is what gives us an edge this time because we're playing at home. So this is the reality. We've been to the quarterfinal 3 times, but at the last World Cup we got knocked out in the round of 16. Now, so we're ranked number 10 in the world. The highest we've ever been ranked is 4, and that was a few years ago. But in our last 10 matches, we've won 9 of them. Now, I would think if you took your Australian hat off for a second and looked at the 32 teams, we're probably somewhere between 4th and 7th favourite. So we're in the mix. Now, the United States have won 4 out of the 8 Women's World Cups. They've won the last 2. They've won 4 out of the 7 Olympic Games that have been available. So they're the favourites. And then behind them, England, who are the European champions, Germany, who have won 2 World Cups, and probably Spain is probably the most talented team in the world. And then Australia sort of sit on their shoulders. So we've got a team that I know is going to play really well, and I believe has a shot of winning the whole thing, and certainly has a very good chance of getting deep into this tournament. That said, tonight's going to be a very nervous experience because Ireland beat us 2 years ago. The only time we ever played them, they beat us in Dublin. And there's an expectation surrounding this team tonight. And when they walk out, and you guys will know, Sean, you know it so well. I mean, that pressure you take with us, it can work one of two ways. And we're going to find out tonight how it works for our team. We've got a lot of confidence, but I reckon we're going to have a nervous night.
Oh, I can't wait for it. You're right. It's the expectation, the nerves, the players.
Nervous wheeze, Sean. Did you have a lot of nervous wheeze before your games, Sean?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be fantastic, Bruce. I'm looking forward to your coverage. I want to ask you too, just recently you were inducted into the AFL Hall of Fame, mate.
What took them so long?
Yeah, and that is amazing and a great feather in your cap. Congratulations.
Look, I really appreciate it. It is a feather in your cap, and you never expect these things, and you honestly, this is not being humble. You say to yourself, have I done enough, and have I done it well enough? And that's for others to judge, but I was overwhelmed and felt really humble on the night, and you sit in that room with all those that have come before you. Dennis did a beautiful thing for me on the night. He voiced this opener for me, but I did text him. Of course, we're great friends, and that's one of the joys of being a AFL caller is our relationship. And his text back was, Bruce, we now live in a very exclusive street. How lucky we are. And it sort of summed it up so perfectly. So, it was a massive honour. I'll always feel a part of the game.
Yep.
And this sort of connects me with it forever. So, isn't it nice to think that you've contributed in a way that people have recognised you in such a way. So it was humbling. So thank you, guys.
It's great.
On the flip side of that, though, Bruce, does receiving an award like that suggest that they think you're going to die soon?
I've got to be honest, Nathan. I have said to my wife a couple of times, I feel like I've been to my own funeral in the last...
At least you got to enjoy it.
And sometimes I think people are a bit disappointed that I'm still around.
You're a living legend, Bruce. That's why we love you. A living legend.
I won't live on a planet where you're not alive.
Do you know what? Of those two, I love the living bit better than the legend bit, I can tell you.
We're pretty happy with both.
Oh, Bruce, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's been too long since we've heard your voice,
I know,
actually, Bruce. We haven't spoken to you
We're
for a
glad
little
you're
while.
out of retirement for the World Cup.
You ring me anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
Good on
on
you,
you,
Bruce.
Love your work, mate. Thanks.
See you, mate.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.